Welcome back. You're watching All About Ads on NDTV Prime. We're talking about gender bias, and on this segment, we specifically discussed sexual harassment. A few months ago, we heard about a JWT Global Communications head, Erin Johnson, filing a discrimination suit against agency chairman and CEO Gustavo Martinez, who then resigned. Johnson accused Martinez of making an unending stream of racist and sexist comments that made her job impossible. But it brings up a larger issue of harassment and bias that exists in India. But the problem is, in India, few women are willing to come forward and report it. Let's start with you, Nirmal.
Oh, I have never seen such an incident as you speak of. I would first verify the allegation, and then obviously, if action has to be taken, we have to do something about it. Can't just keep sweep it under the carpet.
Anita?
I've heard a lot about it. There's just been one instance that I've faced where a very junior girl came up and said, gave me a writing pad and said, I leave my writing pad on the table, and next day I come and there's somebody who's scribbled this stuff. In advertising and media agencies, because we don't have a very, very elaborate HR, so to say, there are not people enough in the agency to handle these kind of cases. So that's when, whoever is at the top, whether it's again a woman or a man, has to kind of handle it. And we actually went through the whole process of taking, asking her who are the people whom you doubt, go to a handwriting expert. So we handled that case quietly and, so that the girl doesn't get affected. It came out as though there was nobody who was involved from within the agency. We don't see women coming up and actually, bringing these cases to the notice or wanting to willingly fight it. That's the way things in India are. It's got to do with the environment, it's got to do with the way women are empowered in the country today, and also how are those things getting sorted. Probably that is something which makes women not really discuss it openly, because they know that there's no response that's going to come.
I have heard of youngsters, young women who've said, if we go and report it to our bosses, it's like a boys' club. So when you come up and say, so-and-so has made these remarks, it's often that bosses come to you and say, is it big enough to report?
I've heard about it. Very honestly, in 23 years of checkered life, I haven't seen it. I've seen lots of women dropping their pallus, behaving like stupid twits. And then if you expect that people are not going to talk about it, but that really doesn't mean that that's taken them places either.
It also depends on us women, how we conduct ourselves.
So, before Kashkar, I used to work at Goldman Sachs in London for 5 years, and in investment banking, it's definitely a boys' club. And I used to go out with them, we used to have a beer, it became a Friday thing, and I enjoyed it, they were all good. When it comes to sexual harassment, one really has to see what is sexual harassment. The way somebody looks at you, the way you look at them and you know what they're thinking, that is also sexual harassment, but we never talk about it, because if I were to go and talk about it to somebody, they will think that either I'm attracting it to myself and therefore it's my fault anyway, or B, that you shouldn't do these kind of things anyway. Don't go for these investor meetings, don't go for these exhibitions, and don't go for the pitches. Then where does my ambition go, right? So I think in India you have a whole separate overlay and a challenge of safety.
It depends on a lot of what you bring on the table. If you believe that you're contributing to their business, they really don't turn around to look at you. Because I remember the ex-MD of ITC saying that you're one of us. So it's easy to put the blame on the men, but I think if you just play on your gender all the time, it's not going to work in your favor either.
If you're a professional, you're a professional. It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. Innovation, creativity and disruption can only come when there's diversity. What do you do with just a man's club? You will only get one kind of a perspective.
One of the major challenges lie with us as women.
Absolutely.
But on the other hand, we should not treat it as something that someone is out to get us. And if there is a problem, we should speak up. Well, on that note, thank you all very much for joining us on All About Ads.